All right. So the leader that I decided to choose was my mother. She, at least in my opinion, obviously I have other leaders, two fictional and real ones, but I think she is the one that has had the most impact on me as both a person and as a leader. So just some background information. Obviously I chose my mother, and her education she received her Bachelor's of Arts in English with a minor in psychology at Quincy University. At the time it was Quincy College. Her background, her professional background, was after graduating college, she went into sales and marketing, both when she got out of college and where she's at right now. And she also, for quite some time, stopped all that and was focusing on being a stay-at-home mother for both myself and my 3 siblings. Some key positions that she has held is she is the president of Improvise Studio, which is the business that she and my dad both founded and started. That's a design manufacturing company, small business in St. Louis. And then some contributions or significant experiences in her life was the small businesses of Living Patriot, which is the other business, which is product manufacturing of flag boxes, and Improvise Studio. And so why she said this was a significant experience for her was that having small businesses, they require a lot of time and hands-on experience, and you don't have those safety nets of like insurance, benefits, or getting that weekly paycheck. Like you could have a paycheck for 1 month that's or a project that's $2,000 or $3,000, and another one you could get $5,000, another one you could get $1,000. So there's no equal thing okay, I'm getting this every 2 weeks, and I can use this to buy groceries or buy gifts or whatever the needs or wants are for the family. So she said that was a really significant event for her. This is a picture of my mother and I. We're very close. This is when we were taken younger, and it's just a famous picture of my mother and I, and how close and happy we are together.
We need to make that go viral. That's super cute.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. We gotta make it go viral. That's super cute.
Thanks. So her leadership insights. So her style of leadership, which she has used and really has passed on to me, is the thing of servant leadership, which Buck talked a little bit about. But it's basically that leadership where leadership, we see it is only if we're helping people, whether that's the community or members in that community or whatever it is, giving something back to that, or else we don't see that as that kind of leadership or see leadership. My mother's best qualities is her active listening skills. She's one of the 2 people, especially in my life, that are hands down the best listeners. They'll just drop everything and listen to whatever you have to say, whether it's good, bad, or otherwise. And they'll be like, oh yeah, they'll give advice, and they're not thinking of, okay, what am I just going to say next? They really care about what someone's saying. Patience, absolutely insane, especially with 4 kids. I don't know how she does it. Crazy, but she just lets everything pretty much roll off her back and rarely ever gets upset. Kindness, obviously just as a human being. Being fair, she's not picking sides. If there's ever an argument between my siblings and I or someone else, it's always just okay, how can both parties benefit? Helpfulness and optimism. She's never once seen something as bad or negative in that side of life, or even when something bad does happen, she'll grieve through the moment, but then she'll get past it and realize the positive sides of life. And then persistence, which she has also instilled in me. So when she works, she also helps the elderly now, outside of just obviously past businesses, because for her, she took care of my grandmother when she was sick, and she really started to learn a lot about the elderly community, how they're just pushed into nursing homes and kind of forgotten about because we don't really want to think about getting old and dying. So they're neglected, and then, one of the people that she helps, his wife, barely even visits him. He has dementia. She goes on these 3-week trips in December and just never even talks to him. So it's really sad to hear that, and she's really trying to at least have them have at least someone to talk to or a friend, so they don't feel so lonely and don't feel oh gosh, my time's coming near or whatever. And then especially dealing with fightings among my siblings and I, and just her general outlook on life has helped with the values that she has and characteristics. So leadership insights continued. So her approach to leadership and servant leadership has inspired me, and I've used it both in the past and present So every leadership position that I agree to, I like to go over it before and think of okay, so who am I helping? So being a Gorlock guide, that's helping prospective students potentially find their college of choice that they want to be at. I'm a student ambassador, helping donors and helping them give us funding for the school so that things can be better on campus for us. Her general outlook on life of optimism and persistence, it's crazy to believe, but when I was younger, I was absolutely terrible. I was negative, I was angry, I was yelling at everyone, and just a really negative person. And through her constant lecturings, through 2 books, the Top 20 Teens and the Little Gold Book of the Yes Attitude, it helped reshape my view of life and seeing it as, oh, why is this happening to me and everything's against me, to, okay, oh yeah, this may have been a bad day, but this and this and this happened that were really good, and so really trying to focus on that. And then persistence, one of her quotes that she always used to say to me is, I can, I will, and I shall find a way. And I've really taken that to heart, especially being on the autistic spectrum and struggling with school, with socializing with other individuals and stuff like that. I've always repeated this phrase after she doesn't say it anymore, but I can, I will, and I shall find a way. It's a simple quote that's really helped me get through all the hardships that I've faced, and I always encourage that to other people too as well, just so that they can get help to work through those struggles that they have. The servant leadership, service and leadership positions that I hold, as I had mentioned, are through that servant leadership of who can I help. And then, unfortunately, I'm working on patience, I'll admit. I get angry still a little bit quicker than I would like to. So it's really just working on that patience of, okay, this isn't a huge thing, if someone cuts me off in the road or someone's being late, just kind of okay, just relax. There's factors that not everyone can control, so just trying to work on that. And still seek help from her as well. And then everyone I come in contact, kindness, helpfulness, active listening, and respect. I mean, that's just kind of basic things that we as humans want. We don't want to feel oh, the other person doesn't care about what we're saying. Or if someone drops books, I've definitely done it before, and you're oh gosh, I dropped my books, what a klutz or whatever. But it's really nice if someone will come up and just help you pick up the books or help collect your things. So you feel okay, I'm not just struggling here. You don't feel bad about yourself. Oh wow, look, someone is kind, and just general things that people want in life. And so I always try and do that with everyone that I come in contact with, so they can feel not only appreciated, but also feel human as well. And then my model. So I did a tree, a little generic, but starting at the roots, you have the personal values and beliefs of just wanting to, be kind to people, help others, which then ties into the trunk part of it, or the tree, the main part, of servant leadership, of how can she help give back to the community in some way, through the jobs or just through her family. And then each of the branches represents one of the characteristics. So kindness, patience, respect, fairness, helpfulness, and active listening. So those represent the trees that it kind of stems from. So the reason why I chose a tree was for 2 reasons. One, just because you start from the bottom and everything grows out of the roots. And then the second one is actually a little bit more personal too, but I'm not sure if everyone's read the story, but The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. For those of you who don't know, the tree is giving all the things the apples, the tree, the actual tree itself, the leaves and stuff like that to this little boy who grows up, and they have a great friendship. And he never says thank you or anything like that. He's always oh yeah, I have to go somewhere. And so at the very end, he's oh, I just need a place to sit, and she's happy to see him. So that's also my mom. She's always willing to go out and help other people first, and sometimes forgets just to take a break or whatever. And to be honest, it's one that she cries about. So I think for me personally, just the tree represents, and especially in that story of just being selfless and giving and helping others, and then in turn me trying to help her get some relaxation or whatever it is, and feeling appreciated as well. So she's not just completely giving herself, she's also getting some of that back as well.
Good.